Hi guys, it's Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today's video is going to be my next update in my Panda palette slash second frankening for my Panda palette. It's been less than a month for sure since I did my my last update, but about a week or so after I did my update, I did some refrankening and I was able to, spoilers, finish those shades that I frankened. And I think I put a poll on my community tab and seeing if you guys wanted to see another frankening, and you guys, the majority of you guys said yes. So if you said no, sorry, you're gonna have to sit through this anyway. But yes, I'm going to show you guys where I'm at, and then I'm going to refranken it. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, but for now, let's start with the picture of where I was at the last update before my refrankening. And this is what it looked like after frankening. And this is what the palette is looking like after I finished the refrankening. So a lot of shiny pan. I feel like a surge of confidence come over me because I feel like I've made a ton of progress. Let's talk about it, shall we? First of all, excuse me, the two obvious things, I had a re-franken here and a franken here, and both shades are finished. I actually finished the last of the franken down here, which was these two shades combined together, and I'm wearing it today on my eyes. It doesn't look like it, but I am. And then on the crease, I am wearing this color called Girlish Appeal. I was hoping I could finish it, and I thought about maybe waiting to do this update until I had finished this shade, but I really don't have any lid shades that I can use, so I figured I might as well just do it now. So yeah, I finished these two, made a ton of progress on this one. It's almost finished. These two still have gone untouched. And then this color here, Scarlet, you guys know that I had hit pan on this one, but I wasn't really liking how it looked, so I ended up refrankening my blush, and I added that to that blush, and I'm currently wearing it today. So I'm wearing that scarlet shade on my cheeks. Technically, it's not finished because it's still in my blush, but it's no longer part of the palette, and I'm pretty sure I can finish that blush by the end of the year, so I'm not worried about that. So that's what the palette is looking like right now before I franken it again. And I'm going to take you guys along to share with you guys my thoughts of how to refranken it. Like I said, I kind of have an idea. We'll see how it works out. So I started off by mixing the dark purple with that silvery shade, and I'm just scraping off some of that whoopie party color. I didn't want to go too dark, so I scraped up a little bit, and then I took up a chunk of the red carpet arrival, and I emptied it over onto my little piece of paper. That way I could mix the colors together. And I felt like the color was still too dark, too purple after I was mixing the colors. So I decided to add a little bit more of red carpet arrival to make sure that it lightened it a little bit more. Eventually, after I finished mixing them, I didn't want to mix two colors, like a wet color and a dry color like I did last time. So I mixed my two colors at the beginning. So here I am mixing that dark charcoal color with the silvery color, and I didn't notice that it made really any difference in the color change. I didn't feel like it lined it as much as I wanted to, so I went over to this e.l.f. palette that's in my Finish 20 in 2020, and I took a chunk of it in hopes to lighten the color a little bit more, and it didn't do the effect that I wanted it to do. So I ended up going back to the palette and getting a little bit more, again in hopes to make the color. I was looking for a silver color, and it still looked pretty charcoal to me. So then I went to this Kevyn Aucoin palette, and I decided to scrape some of that highlighter color, and it's also a silvery white color. But then I realized, man, this is a lot of product. Maybe it's not going to fit in the pen. So then I started panicking, and I decided, okay, well, I guess enough is enough. Let me see if this works. So I poured the purple shade first, the purple mixture first. I added a little bit of alcohol this time around, not too much. I didn't want to make the same mistake that I did last time, that it was just too wet and I couldn't repress it. So I started by adding a little bit. As you guys can see, it made a little pasty paste, if you would call it that. And I'm trying to mix it. It's too dry. I decide to add a little bit more, and then that finally did the trick. So it made a manageable paste where I could put it in the center. That way I could repress it. And I didn't use a coin or anything. I just used my fingers, and that's how I absorbed the excess alcohol. And I pretty much did the same thing with that dark gray charcoal color. I added the alcohol. It wasn't too much at the beginning, but it was just a lot of product to fit into that little pan. And I was just trying to mix and make sure I got all the product there. Oh, hi, buddy. And so, yeah, I ended up adding a few drops several times until I finally made a manageable paste that I could repress. And again, didn't use a coin, just used my fingers and paper towel. Eventually, it looked like how I wanted it to look, and I just kind of cleaned around the edges, even though there I kind of pushed it around, but it's still wet. I can fix it, no problem. But basically, this is what the product looks like. They look very similar wet. We'll see what they look like once they are finally completely 100% dry. Unfortunately, the mixture of both shades look exactly pretty much the same. So I ended up re-frankening the bottom one, which was the purple mixture, and I added the rest of the Whoopie Party shade onto the mixture in hopes to make it a little bit more purple. So I just did that, just waiting for it to dry. Well, guys, here we are. I think you guys can tell by the change of my outfit that it's a different day from the introduction of this video. It's actually been a whole week since I started filming this video, just because I had to keep tweaking things and trying to make things work. So you guys saw the last picture. I wasn't very happy with my first re-frankening. It was kind of a fail. Both colors looked pretty much the same. So I did end up mixing the rest of Whoopie Party, which was the matte purple shade, and I mixed it up with some of the, I don't have the palette with me, but some of the white highlighting shade from that Kevin Aquan palette. And this is what the palette is looking like today. So spoilers, I guess. I was able to finish Girlish Appeal, which was the kind of plummy color that I was using on the crease. And so I am not using a crease shade anymore, not really. As you guys can see, this color, which was the combination of that white shade with this one, and some of this color right here, Be My Bow, that is this shade right here. And I'll give you guys a swatch. I actually have that color, it's right there. I actually have that color on my lid, and then this purple shade right here in the Pick Me Up at 8 pan, which is the combination of the rest of Whoopie Party with the original Franken. And I'll give you guys a swatch of this one. And it's a lot more purple. So I think it's a little bit more workable, and that's the color that I have on the crease. So I am a lot happier, not as happy as I was with my first re-frankening, but a lot happier with this result, because now the shades are, you can tell them apart more than from the previous result. But yeah, so I'll be working for the next month on these two colors. I'll be frankening this look, panning this look. It'll be the look that I'll use the whole time, and hopefully by the next time you guys see a Panda palette update, these two will have significant pan on them. They do have a little bit of kick up, but not too much. I did a really good job in repressing them really tight, so I don't have a lot of kick up, so I don't have a lot of waste. So mainly I'm gonna be using them on my eye like you guys see today. So I hope that I can have good progress on these two, like I said. And hopefully within the next month or maybe 6 weeks, I can get started on these two. Use this as a lid shade and this as a crease shade. Maybe franken a little bit of something, I don't know. But hopefully I'll be able to finish this palette by the end of the year. But this is where I am at right now. for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed this little journey that I took with me with re-frankening, even though the first time was a fail, but it happens. Not every time we franken something, it comes out to what we wanted or expected. But anyway, it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.